Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a video on remasters. Essentially we're going to be going over exactly what a remaster is, the difference between a remaster and a remake, and what makes a good remaster versus a bad one, and lastly we're going to go over some examples. So what is a remaster and what is the difference between a remaster and a remake? A remaster is essentially the same game on a new platform with minor improvements but hasn't been redone from scratch. A remaster might have better performance such as higher frames per second or a more steady frames per second, less screen tearing and fixed bugs. Graphically the game may run at a higher resolution, have textures redone or cleaned up, but ultimately the game will still be the same minus those small improvements. A remake on the other hand is literally that, the game entirely remade. It may run on an entirely different engine, graphics completely recreated, gameplay altered, story changes and possibly other aspects. So let's start off with some bad examples of remasters and why. First we have Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection. This collection has had a fairly decent amount of media coverage over a particularly hilarious NPC compared to the original, although this has since been disproved as the NPCs are randomly generated for cutscenes and it just happens a bad one was generated in the image that was in Polygon's video. That's not the reason this is one of my examples however. This collection is what I would describe as an easy cash grab. The game is, from what I can tell, a simple port of the PC version with some minor lighting and texture differences, with the lighting changes arguably making it worse. The fact these games still run at 30 frames per second is a rather notable aspect, whereas it should easily run at 60 frames per second. To top it off, the game still contains the majority of the same bugs as the originals, and to be honest I feel like this collection deserved a lot more attention and could have looked and ran much better. Next up is Halo the Master Chief Collection. This is a bad remaster for a different reason than most. On the surface it's an incredible collection containing 1, 2 and 3, with 2 having a rather substantial graphical update. This was Microsoft's big game of 2014 and everything about this collection looked fine except for one key detail: the multiplayer was simply completely broken, which was largely the main reason everyone wanted to play it, to play the classic Halo games online on the new console updated. It took months and months before it was arguably fixed to even some extent, and I'm not even sure it was ever 100% fixed. A victim of being too ambitious quite possibly, but it was certainly a big letdown and a poor remaster for that reason alone. Last off is Prototype the Biohazard Bundle. There's not much to say about this game, but visual improvements are extremely small and hilariously the game doesn't not only run better but actually runs considerably worse than its last gen counterparts. Again, this game feels like a cash grab. Remasters from a developer point of view are very easy to put together, costing not too much money or time in comparison to completely remaking a game. And sadly, if they're releasing one for easy money, you end up with a poor remaster like this. Okay, now the bad examples are out of the way, it's time to be a little bit more positive and go over some good remasters. To start with, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD. Nintendo are always known for putting a lot of care into their big IPs, and this release is no different. Although some would argue visual changes took away the cel-shaded look, The Wind Waker takes the already aging well game and makes it look even more incredible in HD that stands out amongst the rest. That along with some much needed gameplay improvements such as faster sailing, an altered Triforce quest that is far less tedious, and other small quality of life improvements make it a great re-release. I love the original and I love this one even more. This next entry may come as a surprise, but Modern Warfare Remastered is a surprisingly good remaster. Yes, you can only play this if you buy Infinite Warfare, which is rather a bad thing for gamers, but that aside, this remaster does a lot right. The visual improvements are pretty great, from redone menus, UI to general gameplay. Having a populated multiplayer COD 4 again with updated visuals is awesome and even has a couple of new modes that weren't in the original, as well as some camos. Real care and attention was put into this re-release to bring up to today's standards, and it shows massively. Thirdly is Gears of War Ultimate Edition. This remaster bumps up the visuals and does away with the muddy brown colour palette the original was known for. That along with including a bonus chapter that's 90 minutes long that was only available in the PC version is a great addition to console owners who weren't able to experience it before. The multiplayer has additional characters, weapon skins, game types, a new leveling system and other gameplay feature improvements that bring out with Gears of War 3 that makes this a pretty good remaster. That's it for today's video. I did actually want to give a couple of more examples on both sides, however I was conscious of the video length. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite remaster is, and I'll see you guys in the next video.